there, Amy here from Knit Collage, and I am so excited to be back here with you for another knitting vlog. So this one's going to be a little bit different than the one I shared a few weeks ago, although similar in some ways. Excuse me. So I'm going to start off with sharing a little bit about our upcoming spring knit-along. We have the design survey out now, so I'm going to talk to you a bit about what that's all about. And then I'm going to dive into the trip I just took. So I was away for 3 weeks in March, partially work, partially vacation and fun with my family. And I knit my way through that entire trip because there was a road trip element and there was ample time to knit. So I'm going to share about all the projects I brought with me and the progress I made along the way. And you're going to see some clips from that trip because I'm trying to get better about sharing the behind the scenes of what it all looks like along the way. So that's that. And then we're going to dive into some of the next projects I have planned because always there are more projects to plan out. So thank you so much for being here with me. Now, first up, let's dive into the spring knit along. So if you're not familiar with Knit Collage and my business, you might not know about our knit-alongs. Our knit-alongs are where, as a community, we make the same designs together. So it's typically anywhere between 6 to 8 designs that we knit over the course of a 6 to 8 week period all together. And along with this being a community making event, you get an online course on how to make each of those designs from start to finish. And this is something that I teach. It's all hosted through the brand new Knit Collage app. So it's really simple and easy to use. And then we have live coaching. So if you need help in the moment, you can get that really easily from myself or the two Knit Collage coaches, Cheryl and Pia. It's a blast. So we have that coming up and we decide what we make through a survey. So the link to the survey is going to be right in the show notes right below. Please vote if you haven't voted yet. We choose what we make by popular vote. So we want the widest audience weighing in and voting here so that we're sure that we're making the things that you all really want to make that are truly the most popular. So I'm going to do a quick slideshow of all of the project options. So we'll just go through them quickly. The first one I'm wearing, it's actually the Flow State cardigan. This is the design that has needle felting on it. I think I showed this last video. I am 100% in love with this. It's very lightweight. It's knit in our Spun Cloud Light yarn. And it's really, to me, it's really all about the embellishments and having a lot of fun with those. So that's that. The next ones I'm just going to run through and insert some pics on. So the next one is the mixtape sweater. I love this. We've got 2 options. I show about this in more detail in the previous YouTube video. I love this one. It's our new yarn and there's just so many options for customizing this. And I love patterns where there's lots of options for customizing it to be exactly what you want. Okay, the next one is the rodeo vest. I designed this with the help of a pattern writer, Sue Hislop, and I'm going to share more about that later on in this video because I spent a lot of time working on this design in this past trip or on this past trip. The next one is the Monet Cardi. This is knit up in our very slinky waterfall yarn. This is a ribbon yarn. It's very breezy. It's not hot at all, but it knits up quickly on a big needle, which I love. It's a summer yarn, a spring yarn, but doesn't take a long time to knit on a very tiny needle. So that's that one. Then we have the Floribunda Cardi, which I would be really excited to teach because it would be teaching you all how to add a zipper to your project. So I love designs where I get to teach something really cool and new. So I love the idea of doing the Floribunda. In addition, I love this design. Next up is the Walking on Sunshine sweater. So I knit 2 of these for the fall knit along. It was so popular. We actually sold out of the yarn on day 1. We had no yarn in daisy chain left for this design. So we are thinking of bringing it back if you all want us to, because we do have yarn in stock now for it. Okay, the next up is the over-the-top shoulder hug. This is a shrug. There's lots of different ways you can do this. You could do this in mixed yarns, or you could do it just in our waterfall. Very versatile, very fashion. All right, the next one, we have two shawls coming up. The first one is the stained glass shawl design. I love this. It's so unique. It is art. You could put it on your wall and it would be art. I love it so much. And what else? This also uses our new yarn, our new mixtape yarn. So it's fun. It's crochet. So it's the only design we have that's crochet, but that adds a fun element too. If you're a beginner crocheter, it could be a fun opportunity for you to learn crochet. The next design is the Dewdrop design, the Dewdrop Crescent Shawl. This is by Annie Lupton, who designed the Bonfire Shawl, which we talked a lot about last video. I love this one. I love how it combines flowers and a checkerboard motif in my favorite shape of all time for a shawl, which is the crescent shape. So I love that one, and we've got to have an accessory in there because we want to have some projects that are just shorter for folks to complete. Okay, the next one is the over-the-top sweater. So just like the over-the-top hug, that's a shrug, you just continue knitting down and you can turn this one into a sweater, and it's really cute and versatile. So that's an option too. Next one, I want to grab my sample. This is the Sunnyside shawl, which in a way goes with that Floribunda. So I knit this using all different colors for the flowers, and truly it's one of my favorites. It's just such a statement shawl. I think it is. It's just got Stevie Nicks vibes in spades. It's so beautiful. And of course you could do it as it's written in the pattern with, I think it's 3 colors of flowers. There are 3 colors that you use for the flowers. It could be 2. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's so pretty just the way it's written. Or you could do it the crazy rainbow happy way, which is how I usually do all my projects, and use all different stash yarns to create just a complete explosion of color for your flowers. So lots of options within that one. I love this pattern. I think it would be a fun one to do. So I really want to encourage you to vote. And if you have any friends that are knitters or crocheters, please send them the survey and ask them to vote. We do have a giveaway going on right now where we'll be giving away 3 of the Knitalong kits, whatever wins. So part of that is actually taking the survey. So please, please, please take that survey, enter the giveaway. I'll put the link to that down below too. It's going to be an epic giveaway, and I think it's going to be a really fun and epic knit-along too, because we have a lot of new things, and I'm so hoping that the new things win out because it's always fun to teach with new yarns and teach new techniques. So that is spring. I will have more about the spring knit-along coming to you very soon. But for now, let's dive into my trip. So my boys have 2 weeks for spring break, and it's likely that 2026 will be the last year that we have this because our son is going into middle school and it'll be a different schedule in the future. So we're down to this year and next year where we'll have full 2 weeks, and then it'll probably all change. But we really took advantage of it this year, and it was so fun, and it was just amazing. So we went to the Grand Canyon for a week, and we road tripped all around Arizona in the Grand Canyon. And then we went to Southwest Colorado. We went to Telluride, Colorado, which is my favorite place in the entire world. And you'll see some clips from there. And it's just, my spirit has a connection with it. I can't explain it. I know it sounds completely woo-woo, but I feel such a deep connection with this place. And I so hope there is a world where we can run some knit collage, knitting and crafting retreats there. So the last thing I did was I went to Austin, and this was for work. So I went to Austin for a business mastermind I'm a part of with Bonnie Christine. She teaches surface pattern design, and she's created quite a successful business. She's super ambitious and successful. And it was with, I believe, 25 other women, around there, 20 to 25 other women, all in the creative fields, many artists, many sewers, quilters, lots of tangential fields to what I do. So it was just an incredible trip. I came back feeling more motivated and more excited about where the business is headed than ever. So I can't wait to roll and out and incorporate all these things into the business. A lot of it, the biggest takeaways were actually productivity, time management, and leadership related. And the point was not like about having a big team. It was, no matter what team you have, you can lead this in a better way, in a successful way. And that is something I've been really thinking about post mastermind and thinking about how to implement. So I'm excited to do all of that. And I will be sharing this in my Creative Small Business email newsletter. I'm going to post a link to that below too. If you are a creative business owner and you're interested in what I learned from my mastermind, please enter your email address. I'm planning to share more there when I get the time. All right, so let's talk about the 7 projects I brought. I brought 7 projects with me on this trip for 3 weeks. I finished 5. The 2 I didn't finish are needle felting. So I wanted to needle felt more to this sweater, and I wanted to needle felt to another sweater. And those are the ones I didn't get time for, which I think makes sense because I was driving a lot, or my husband was driving a lot. So I got to knit a lot while he was driving, but the actual needle felting piece of being, at a desk or a table didn't happen. So first up, I finished the bonfire shawl. Now this one, I was down to the final contrast color rose and the final picot bind off. So I actually finished this on the plane to Arizona. I decided to make it much bigger than the original bonfire shawl. So I'm kind of calling it a schlanket. I mentioned that in the last video, and it's big. I ran out of my main color here, so I ended up having to finish it. I would have probably made it bigger if I could have, but I really, really love the way it came out. I love the bobbles. I love the yarns I used. I detailed all the yarns in my last video. I think that I blocked it in a motel, like without proper blocking boards. So I would like to actually formally block this better. I think that could make a little bit of a difference with the drape. But I wore this all over the vacation. It was colder than I thought, and my packing, because I was so last minute with packing, was a little bit suspect. So I ended up needing this for warmth quite a bit, and I really love it. I love ivory with rainbow, as evidenced by what I'm wearing and this. And so I'm really excited about this, and it's fun. It was just so fun to do it as part of our bonfire shawl challenge. We had a big celebration party while I was away. Even though I was on vacation, I still worked quite a bit and had a few Zooms with that group. And it was so fun to see their finished projects. No 2 projects were the same. And it was just like endless, boundless creativity emanating from the group. So it was a lot of fun. And that was the first project I finished. So I want to share some pics of that in the wild. I also want to share a little bit from the Grand Canyon that I'm going to put in here. This is just me in the wild in the Grand Canyon. I got to wear my, my enchanted forest there on a walk by myself. And even though we couldn't do any crazy long hikes because of our young kids, it was just incredibly mind-blowing. The scenery was so beautiful. So that's that. Now, the next sweater I want to talk to you about, oh my gosh, I knocked it over, is my Alpine Bloom. So here is my Alpine Bloom. I finished it You might remember from last time I was down to the sleeves. The sleeves were no bueno for me. It was not my happy place. This sweater took me quite a long time. This is the Alpine Bloom sweater by Caitlin Hunter. And I think it was called Hello Mellow Handspun. I did post all the yarn details in my last video. I started this sweater in November and I just finished it. So it took me a long time for me. I knit this, I think on a size 3. It was a very small needle for me, but it was so much fun and I really, really love it. And I think the fit came out just perfectly. I would 100% knit this sweater again. I can't say enough things about it. I loved it so much. And I think I unlocked something that I really love to do right now, which is knit color work, specifically flowers. I love all things flowers. Probably tell I've got flowers here. I've got flowers on the wallpaper. I love flowers. I love knitting flowers. And so as you see the projects that I want to work on next, they are also color work and flowers, my non-work projects. So I'm really excited about this. I've definitely been wearing it a lot. I got a lot of compliments and it was perfect for vacation. So that was a really satisfying one to finish because it was hard and it took me a long time. And I think my color work skills certainly improved after that. Okay, so the next sweater I want to talk about is the Larkin sweater. So I shared this before that I was working on the Larkin sweater, a baby sweater for my kids' woodshop teacher. And this is how far I have gotten. So I went with the green colorway. I'll show you the 2 yarns. So these are the 2 yarns I used, plus Spin Cycle Dream State. And I ran out of Spin Cycle Dream State. So I knit the 1 year size. You can see the Dream State it's got like the pink and the brown. It's so, so pretty. I ran out of this. It turns out it's a custom colorway called Eventide of Dream State Spin Cycle from the yarn shop, Black Mountain Yarn Shop. I got home, looked at the label, went on their website, no more. And I just need it for the sleeves and the neck. So not good. She is due with this baby soon. So that skein of yarn was actually gifted to me by Melanie on our team who lives near this yarn store. And I said to her and to the other team members, is there any chance anyone has any more of this yarn? And she has 1 skein that she is willing to part with and is sending up to me. And I just can't even believe it. I'm so excited because I didn't really want to knit it again. So I'm psyched. I mean, I could have, it didn't take that long, but I'm really excited. And I have this sweater ready for her. I have some very sweet curated hand-me-downs. And then I actually also got her, one thing I love to do for expecting parents is get them some of our favorite books. We are big readers in this family, or audiobook listeners. So I got her a few of our most loved books, and I had the boys sign their names and what they liked about the book inside it. And what I've noticed is this simple, silly thing is that when friends have done that for me, like my friend Meg did this for a book for my son Tucker. And every time I read that book, I think of her and I read that sweet note from her, and it's really special. So that's just one reason why I love books. And if you're interested in knowing my favorite baby/kid stories, let me know. I can share about those later. But there's my Larkin, one of my favorite baby patterns, size 1 year, and it's going to be okay. I got that yarn coming in soon to finish the sleeves. So that's that. Okay. So the next sweater I am going to talk about is my rodeo vest design. So let me grab this. So this is a design I had in mind. I'm going to let's see if I can try it on over this. It's not, I don't know if it'll be easy to see it. I haven't completely finished weaving in everything, but it's got pockets and I absolutely love it. So I'll put in some pictures of me wearing it along the way in Arizona and throughout all my road trips. But this was something I had in my mind for a long time as a design, and I've worked with the pattern writer Sue Hislop to bring it to life. So here is some thoughts as I got going with it that we can share here. Okay, so I've been working on this vest. I decided to make it longer than I originally thought, and it's hard to tell what it's going to look like completely because I'm going to add a shawl collar around it and a little border, but you get the idea. So I knit most of this in a day. A day's drive. Yeah, anyway, I like it. So I just added the collar last night and the ribband, and I did not pick up enough stitches. I need to pick up more stitches so that this has just more knitted fabric to lay flat. I also, it's pulling up at the front, which you might not be able to tell, but it's pulling up at the front. So I need to rip it out, pick up more stitches, and then redo the collar. I'm going to add a rib along here and pockets. So I'm getting there. So the collar took me, I think, 3 tries. So you saw the bad try. I did it again. Did not look good. I called Cheryl, our knitting coach, or I sent her a long video and I said, help me, Cheryl, what do I do? I ended up going down a needle size, picking up more stitches and adding more short rows to make it longer. And that solved it. I love the way it looks now. I'm obsessed with this design. I think it's really cool. So I'm curious if it gets your vote for the design survey for spring. I think it's really versatile for spring and summer. I mean, I could just see wearing this and it'd be like the perfect Rhinebeck sweater because it's usually pretty warm there in October, but you could layer it with a long sleeve underneath and still have it be nice and open and airy. So I really love this design. I think it'd be fun to teach pockets. I always like teaching new things, so I think that could be fun. Although, of course, the pockets are optional. And then the shawl collar, a statement shawl collar. And of course, you could knit it solid too. You don't have to do the rainbow mixed yarn version. You could totally go solid. So that's the rodeo vest that I worked on. I think that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 4th project that I finished on this trip. And now I want to go to sharing a little bit about the stop that we went to in Utah. It was called Cow Canyon Coffee. And we drove there we were driving from the Grand Canyon to Southwest Colorado. And I made Trammell pull over on the side of the road because it just looked like the cutest coffee shop. So this is what it looks like inside and outside. There was this amazing room that was just all windows. And if I were ever to have my own studio space, not just a room in our house, which is awesome, it would be just like this. It was so just rustic and beautiful. I absolutely loved it. And I loved the art. I think the art was by Kate Atkinson or Atchinson or something. I'll make sure to put her name below, but I absolutely loved the art. I loved the color combos of the art on the walls. It just was such a cool spot, and the food and coffee did not disappoint. So that was that. And then we got to Colorado. We got to my happy place. So here's some clips from my happy place when I was sort of walking around and out on the town. I'm taking a walk. It's about 5 p.m. It's still really sunny and 40 degrees out, so not very cold. And about 11,000 elevation, so high. The mountain that you see is Wilson. And it's also on my hat. It's my favorite mountain. Of any mountain I've ever seen. It's my favorite. It's so beautiful, and it has been just so awesome to be back here. in such an incredibly beautiful place. I've been outside most of the day and it just doesn't get old. It doesn't get old seeing the mountains and the aspen trees. And yeah, I'm just super grateful to be here and I love it. So I am in Telluride, Colorado right now. I am on a gondola and it is snowing like crazy. You can't see anything because it's just coming down. I decided not to ski today. I stayed in and I've got my Alpine Bloom hat on and underneath my jacket, my Enchanted Forest sweater that I shared about in the last YouTube video. So it's perfect sweater weather. I'm so happy. And I'm going into town to window shop and just be inspired. Usually in Telluride, there's some great sweater inspiration or accessory inspiration, hand knit, crochet. You never know what might give you an idea. I also really love the bookstore here. I've found some great book series that we've read out loud to our kids. The most recent one we're reading is Wildwood that I found here. So it's a really good bookstore. So that's what's happening. It's pretty. Okay, bye. Colorado was amazing. I actually didn't knit that much there because I was really outside. I was with the family. We were skiing. My parents were there, so it was hectic and busy. But I did knit when I got to Austin for my work trip. So when I got to Austin, on the way to Austin, I started to work on this sweater, my Pope Basic Mohair Yoke Sweater. This is by Pope Varga, I think is how you say her name. I'll make sure to put that in the show notes. And I actually decided to rip this out. The sweater was too big. I had knitted in a size 2. I decided to rip it out and work it in a size 1. And I only had 2 skeins of yarn in the really bright neon yellow sherbet color. So I decided to make it short sleeve and go with, just go with short sleeves, keep it pretty cropped, smaller size. So let me try it on for you. I just finished or gotten this far pretty recently. And I like it a lot. I have not blocked it yet. So it is, I think it could definitely use a little bit of blocking, but I think it's pretty darn cute. I'm thinking about making one change to it. So this is it so far. It's pretty darn cute, right? Pretty darn cute. I'm thinking about taking out the bottom and adding some decreases here to give it more of like a real cinched in at the waist look. So that's my plan there. I think I'm going to change that. And then I kind of like this being more like a little puff sleeve. I think this will probably block out once I block it, but I like it. And I think I can wear it with sleeves or it might look even better without anything underneath. I like it. I'm into it. And I knit this all traveling to Austin on the way home to Boston. And then I also knit it during my mastermind. So having something simple that you can just knit in the round when you are listening to speakers and like for me, it actually helps me learn better. So it was so easy for me to take notes and also knit on this. And there are 2 days of speakers and presentations. So I really cranked through this on those days and got it done really, really quickly. And it was a blast. So I am thinking about when I go on these trips where I'm hearing a lot of speakers and absorbing a lot of always having a project that I can just knit in the round really easily. And I think this pattern was a good one for that. It sort of reminds me of the Stay Cozy sweater I knit by Shayna Billow, but that's a V-neck. I like both of them a lot. So both of those would be great ones to think about. So that's that. Now I'm going to share a little bit from Barton Springs, my favorite place in Austin, because if you go, you should think about going to Barton Springs. It is so special. So here is I got off the plane and I went right to Barton Springs. You can check it out right here. I just went swimming. So touchdown in Austin half an hour ago. Got to the hotel and oh my God. Favorite spot in Austin, Barton Springs. It's my final day in Austin. I'm heading back to Boston. I just went for a quick run to Barton Springs, jumped in. It's actually been rainy and cold, but it's my favorite place. There's just something about it here that makes me feel very excited and alive. I love it. So I'm heading back to Boston now. And I have actually knit I'm almost done my 5th sweater, and then the 2 other projects I brought were needle felting. So I didn't get to those. But anyway, I'll show you the finished results very soon. I think I got through all my projects. I feel like I was very, very, very productive. It was a good trip. I got a lot of knitting done. The only thing that I didn't do was needle felt more on this, which I will be doing this week. I'm going to add more to it. Not a lot more, but a little bit more. And then I'm going to add to this vest. And I shared about this last time. I want to do some needle felting on the Feeling Groovy vest. This is a design we did for our fall knit-along. It's so good. And I want it to have like a star witchy vibe. So stay tuned. Next video, I hope to have that done. That's the only thing I didn't get to. So I've got 3 projects that I'm thinking about. And I like to think about non-work projects because knitting is my work life. It's really fun to do projects like the Alpine Bloom that for me are not work and don't feel like work. Not that the work is really fun and I love it and it's all aligning, but it's also really fun to knit with other people's yarns and other people's patterns. So I've got 3 that I'm going to share about. The first one is this yarn. This is a Moondrake yarn that I got at Mermaid's Pearl. I don't have the name of it, but I can look it up and put it in the show notes. And I have started a simple in the round sweater. This is the Stay Cozy by Shayna Billow. We'll see if I stick with it. I really love the yarn. I'm not sure it's going to work in this design. It might just be too flimsy. I don't know. I'm going to knit a couple more inches, then put a barber cord in and just see how it's looking. But I just love having something in the round, simple to knit at all times. I think it is essential for me, especially at bedtime with the kids. Like my husband usually reads out loud or I read out loud, or I have like 30 minutes before, after they go to bed where I have free. Just something where I really don't have to think is all I'm capable of these days at nighttime. And if you don't know, I have 3 little boys, so it's a lot. Okay, so I have a few other sweaters. So this is the porcelain sweater that I started last year. And I think it has 2 issues. One, I'm not sure about the gauge here. I think the gauge is a bit off. And maybe not, I don't know. Number 2, I'm not in love with the colors. So originally, I wanted to make a very a traditional ski sweater, like a Nordic ski sweater. And Cheryl suggested this pattern on our team, and I loved the colors, but now I'm just feeling like they're a little boring. So I went on Ravelry, and there are 40 pages of projects that people have made of this design. It's by Lynette. It is so wild how many people have made this. So it's really cool. Most people have made it in this combo, which also makes me not want to knit it in this combo. So this is what I'm thinking of. So I have the yarn for the main color. It is a Knit Picks yarn, super inexpensive, a Loft lace weight yarn, and palette fingering weight yarn. So that's going to remain my main color. But I am thinking about this for CCs. So it would be like purple, brown, brown, purple, brown. So you would have brown here, purple here, and brown here. That's what I'm thinking of doing. I know I should swatch it all out, but part of the fun of when you're not knitting for work is you can just like do it and take chances. And I would always swatch when it's for work or for teaching other people. But when it's just for fun, it's okay. So I saw a lot of really beautiful combos like this. And I was thinking about this. I always love bright colors, but I don't want it to feel like really 80s. And I feel like that neon purpley is a bit 80s feeling. So I think the brown makes it like a little more earthy, a little more me feeling. I'm very into this color brown. It's very similar to our Sedona color. It's just in Spun Cloud. It's really pretty. Now, of course, this is all I have of the CCs, so I might have to figure that out. But I'm thinking I'll swatch. And when I say swatch, I mean knit the back panel like this, see how it looks, and then decide. But that I'm kind of excited about, and I'm thinking of as sort of my next Alpine Bloom sweater that would take me like 3-4 months, but be something fun to have on the back burner. Not flowers, it's snowflakes, but I'm into it. Okay, the next sweater I want to make is the Bliss sweater by Une Cecile, and I may be saying her name incorrectly. I'll make sure to put it in the show notes. I love this sweater. It's all over color work. It's very intimidating. You steek the armhole openings, I believe. So I've steeked before, but it's been a while, and it makes me very nervous, but it's all over color work flowers. So when I saw this, I was just randomly on Ravelry and saw it. I just completely fell in love. So I loved the combo that she had in her pictures that was like a dark blue. So I decided to go with Pearl Soho's Linen Quill, which isn't the softest yarn, but I really love the colors. So I'm thinking about a combo just like what, I guess I just do it like this, sweet, like this. Just like what she has on her sample, which would be these colors, with the main color being the teal and the contrast colors being the 3 lighter, brighter colors. So we'll see. I mean, I still have to like finish this first. So we'll see. I also bought all the wrong quantities of yarn. I just bought 1 skein of each. So I don't know. It was a true impulse buy. I don't know what I was thinking. So I have to really think about that. But first, I'm going to dive into this and see how that goes. But truly first, we've got the spring Knitalong, and I'll be doing all of those designs first and then moving on to this. So I think that's everything. I was really excited to share this with you, all the projects that I knit in the past few weeks. I would love to hear from you which pattern, which project resonated the most with you. If you don't subscribe, please subscribe. It was really cool to see some comments on the last one, so your comments would mean the world to me. Let me know if this resonated with you. I'd love to hear. Thank you so much for being here with me. Bye.